Hi guys, so I just thought I'd do a sort of uh, end of season sort of wind up of the front yard, but I just thought I'd show you what I'm doing here in preparation for winter. So some of these will probably survive outside, but I've brought them in here anyway. So we've got some Wampy seedlings here. I've brought majority of my chilies in because they're not going to be able to go into the hothouse anymore. But yeah, so I've got my chilies, my lychee, that's the Waichi. I've got a Hawaiian guava there, an Indian guava, and two Mexican cream guavas, mango seedling, my beautiful wax jambu, some more chilies, a dwarf coffee up the back there. Unfortunately, my African pride has suffered root rot. I don't think it's going to survive. I've been giving it a treatment, but I think it's a goner. We'll see how it goes. But various chilies, all my Jaboticobas, the Ariana, looking very healthy. All new growth. This is the Coronata, the smaller leafed variety of Coronata. Some of the other Coronatas have got much larger leaves than this. The Scarlet, which have actually got some cuttings in the bottom that look like they might be taking, which is pretty cool. More chilies and that. Some Longan seedlings, Cherry Moya seedling, lychee seedlings, or mangoes. These are ryeberry lily pillies, very sad looking Mamey sapote. Have a Costada Jaboticoba, nice big one there, and a nice looking red hybrid there. Behind it is a grafted red hybrid. Looking pretty happy. And this is the AXP or Ariana cross Photantha up the back there. Then up the back here we have a Longan. This is the koala or kohala Longan, and the Thai mango there. That pretty much it stays under here year round. It's usually back here, back behind where I'm standing usually year round. And yeah, there's a couple of other things to come in, but that's about it really. We've got the rest of our stuff ready in the hothouse, and anything else that's left will be we'll have frost cloth over it. But I think there's a couple of things that still have to come in. One of my other mangoes in a pot, and something else I can't think of. But yeah, pretty much that's it in terms of potted frost protection, things that I'm not going to leave in frost cloths. And now I'll just take you out the front. Okay, so everything's doing very well this late in the season. Obviously that's all going to change very soon, but the good old curry's doing well, nice and healthy. Yellow Grummy Charmer, looking very happy. All these little buds in here, it's looking very, very good the whole way down. Yep. The two different types of lemon guavas. So this one here produces a very large fruit. They are just huge. Like this, a little under. Let's see if we can pull one off. And oh, they're not quite ripe, but yeah, to give you an idea, there's my hand size. So they are quite large, bigger than a golf ball in size. Whereas this one's got your typical size lemon guavas on it. Even these are probably a little on the larger size. I don't think I've got any on the tree currently. Plenty trying to push on new growth, but yeah, so they're the two different types, and they do have two different botanical names. I'll pop it up on the screen after I've recorded, just for your reference. Bowen mango. You know, we've had a few cold nights and it's starting to show. A bit of cold damage there. Some of the tips are burning. Up here. The ice cream bean, doing well. Some new growth. Pushing everywhere. And the Black Beauty, Suriname cherry, and the typical red Suriname cherry. And I was interested to see what looks like possibly might have been flowers that I didn't notice. And that'd be right, it's just started raining. The macadamia is pushing on all this new growth. Olives are ready to be harvested. The beautiful starling white guava. With this huge fruit, which I'm going to harvest today. Forte avocado looking good. The Wirtz avocado covered in some beautiful fruits. Hang on guys, getting a bit wet. Okay, so we'll see how we go now. The rain's backed off for now. So I had this Chilean guava in the ground over here. It decided, well, it wasn't doing well, it just kept struggling, so I pulled it out and put it back in this pot, and it started to push on all this new growth now. So it's a third time I've picked a location for this. It just does not like the native soil here, so I think that unfortunately this is probably going to have to stay in a pot. A Fuyu persimmon, got one fruit left on it. It's a nice decent sized one, but yeah, so we'll get that off and that'll be the last one for the season. Most of the fruit that was on this year was actually on this poor branch here, and it broke, snapped the branch. It was just too heavily laden with fruit, unfortunately, so that was a goner. Just got some potted trees here. This is a cutting from my loquat. There's a bacon avocado and some other stuff, a cutting from one of the figs out the backyard. This is a lamb has avocado covered in fruits. They're not huge, but they're everywhere. It's absolutely covered in them. They're all doing well. Everywhere you look, there's fruits. Yep. And I think there's about 6 or 7 on this other one that I showed you before. It's just a matter of finding them. They tend to hide on this one. But, oh yeah, there's another one there. Another 2 there. Yeah, they're kind of just everywhere. Another one there. More there. But yeah, so 20 on there. The seedling Fichoa that I've got in this huge pot, which is probably about a metre wide, isn't producing as big a fruit this year, which is a bit disappointing, but you know, it's been in this pot for a while. It's probably heavily root bound, but the fruit, that being said, the fruit is very exceptional this year. There's one on the ground here, just bear with me. That's why it's always good to split up your recording, guys. Looks as though I dropped my mic, so I'm not sure how much of that actually came through, but I'll just do a quick run off just in case it didn't record or I can't get it enough to be able to overlay it. So this seedling Fichoa here has a really nice jelly to flesh ratio this year. Although the fruits aren't as big, the amount of jelly inside of them is substantially more than usual. With this loquat here, I ended up buying this just the other day, and I've got this to graft a further variety onto my seedling loquat over. I'll show you shortly. In the future, this is on special, so I bought it. And then there's the Nagasaki Wise, which I've already taken cuttings from and grafted that onto my seedling. In here is the tea leaf tree. I think it's a camellia, tea camellia. Don't know the botanical name, but yeah, that's what you make green tea out of. So you just pinch off all the new leaves and shoots, and it makes a beautiful tea, just like the tea you buy from the store. So in there's just a little red shatut mulberry. So moving around, we've got some blueberries here. So this one I've had for a while. This is the Sunshine Blue. And this is a dwarf all-in-one almond, which I've had in this pot for years. I've pruned this up. It's quite a small tree, but it produces quite a few almonds. And because I've kept it small, it's much easier to keep the pests away from. It's a new blueberry that I just bought. So this is the, what's this one? This is the pink icing, this one. So we'll see how that goes. You can see in the background there the finger lime, with the finger limes all on the ground there. And the beautiful babako there, which just fruits and fruits and fruits. This doesn't stop fruiting, which is great. This is the Australian limey, which is the taste of a lime, but it's sweet, almost like lemonade, but this is not a lemonade tree. It's a native Australian citrus. I haven't been able to find much information on it. It is looks a lot like a desert lemon. It's got this sort of like crown on the base of the fruit. Well, it did last year anyway, but it's sweet. The Australian desert lime is not. So I'm not sure what this is, but it's very sweet. Australian native citrus, and it came with a label. And the label was Australian limey. So very interesting. Haven't been able to find anything on it. We've still got a few dragon fruits on the tree. They're starting to split, so we really need to get onto those and get them off the tree before they're all goners. This is a yostaberry. This will be going in the ground next spring. Haven't decided where yet, but it actually produces quite a nice berry, and it's a decent size, similar size to a blueberry, a bit more tart. Beautiful fruit. This is a wampy, grafted wampy. This is the Yeem Pei from Daly's, and this is meant to be the better of the two main varieties that you can get available grafted. The other one's the Gai Sam, which I also have, but I've heard lots of negative things about it. It's nowhere near as nice as this apparently, so that's why this one's in the ground, my other one's in a pot. This here's my Seminole Tangelo. It is loaded with fruit. They are everywhere you look, absolutely loaded. It's just almost to the point of breaking branches. This has always been a good producer for me. And I believe personally that this is a far superior tasting fruit to the Manola. The Manolas, they've actually got, the parent trees are actually different from the Seminole and the Manola. They both have one same parent, and the other pollinating tree is a different variety. And I'm not, off the top of my head, I wouldn't be able to tell you what they are, but the Manola is much more sour than the Seminole. And in my opinion, this has got the perfect balance of sweet and sour. This is Washington Navel orange. And this one here is a Arnold Blood orange. This is my wife's favourite. And it produces a smaller orange. They're not a huge orange, but they're beautiful, and they're more on the sour side than the sweet. I just recently planted these dwarf finger limes. So this is the rainforest pearl, and the beauty of these is they only grow 1 metre. Grows to the height of 1 metre to 1.5 metres. So I figured in between the citrus here I've got the rainforest pearl, and I've also got a red scented lime as well, which is looking a bit crook, but it'll come good. Then we have these are blue flax lilies, which have an edible berry. Another one there, and another one there. And I've got to replenish all this alyssum, but this alyssum here is what keeps these trees away from pests. Out of all my citrus trees, these ones don't suffer from leaf miner or anywhere near as bad. I do have traps on them, but I've got traps on my other trees out the back as well, and these do not suffer from leaf miner. They're always looking a lot healthier than my other trees because, well, I put it down to the alyssum. Draws in things like green lacewing and other forms of predatory bugs to keep all the pests at bay. And what else do we have? Alright, so before we come across to the other side, we'll move over here. So over here we have some more blueberries. That's the kisses. And this one is the burst. They produce a very large blueberry, beautiful tasting. And these are actually evergreen blueberries. Unlike I've got some real old blueberries out the back that are an unknown variety, but they're actually deciduous, these aren't. Then we have some Nathan banana clumps in the ground here, and these are purely ornamental trees along the path here. They may fruit one day, but I'm not holding my breath. I have to protect these every winter with frost cloth. They are very cold sensitive, and even under the eaves here, they still get burnt very badly if I don't protect them. Yeah, so it's a little baby bay leaf. Here's a closer look at the Arabica coffee. This thing's just a beautiful tree. Look at all those berries. They're just everywhere. Thousands of them. Now this late in the season, I don't know whether they will get them to ripen up, but I'll give it a red hot crack, guys. But beautiful, beautiful berries. Pushing on new growth too. It's got a bit of protection from the bananas here. We'll see how it goes this year. If it handles its position, we might leave it there, otherwise it'll come in. And that's, mind you, that's just in compost, guys. There's nothing fancy in the pot there at all. It thrives on neglect. So this banana I'm standing underneath here is this is the Goldfinger, and next to it there's the Blue Java. But one thing I have found is there's a lot of incorrectly labelled Blue Javas out there in existence. So I haven't got any fruit off this yet. It does have the right coloured trunk, in my opinion. From what I can tell, the Blue Javas do have sort of a blue tinge to their trunks, which this does. So fingers crossed it is actually a Blue Java, but we'll see. Coming around here, I'm not going to do flowers and plants, guys. I'm going to focus on the edibles. But we've got a beautiful red hybrid Jabberjacoba here with an aphid on it. This is my beautiful Sabara, which actually flowered this year. for the first time. Well, the first time I've found a flower on it. And it dropped off. But it's a beautiful tree, this. I'll see if I can find a picture of that flower, and I'll put it into the video as a reference there for you. And there's a beautiful costata down here. It's probably going to get close to fruiting, I believe. Maybe next year that'll start to fruit, I think. The costata. Just trying to see if there's any fruit on this Sabara. I don't think so. It's very hard to get in there and see. Yeah, so that's those 3 jubbos there. This is the starting to go to sleep. This is the kiwi berry. Produces a beautiful little berry that it tastes exactly like a kiwi fruit. The skin's edible. It doesn't have furry skin. It's got like a non-furry skin, and they are just beautiful. They taste exactly like a kiwi fruit, but in that berry size. Don't know if I've got any left. I think they've all been eaten. Let's see if we can find. Oh, yeah, there's a small one, a very small one there. But to give you an idea, there, and they're usually twice the size of this. This is a little struggler. Let's Oop. That's them there. And they taste amazing, just like kiwi fruit. In fact, I think they're better. Then we have thornless blackberry growing here, along here. Some more Nathan dwarf bananas. Those ones are in a pot. This here is an air layered Hawaiian Supreme white sapote. Beautiful big olive. This here is a Wilson, grafted Wilson white sapote. And the fruit on this is amazing. We've had fruit off this before. And it's amazing. It's beautiful. Delicious fruit. Then we have the Smathers white sapote. Now this is a fairy leafed variety. The underside of the leaf here is fluffy and furry, as opposed to the normal varieties where they've got this, leathery sort of underside, like you usually get with a normal leaf. That's a 17th century heritage pear called apple called Gravenstein. Tahitian lime, dwarf Tahitian lime. This is a Mexican cream guava. Dwarf Cavendish banana, which is mainly there. Well, it was put there in sort of attempts to protect the guava, but it's that slow growing. I don't think that it's going to do that. I had a medium berry in a pot over there for years, but it died last season, so I just bought another one the other week. Down there, it's in there. We've got some more blue flax lily down there. Pig face down along the bottom there, which has got edible. That's an edible ground cover. Then we have Muntry berry ground cover there, and then this here's another ground cover with an edible berry that grows on it called ruby saltbush. And these are quite refreshing. They're not big, tiny little berry, but they're quite refreshing, packed with antioxidants and all the good stuff. So although there's not really much of a feed there, and they're not going to fill you up, but they're definitely going to give you some really good nutrients and lots of health benefits. Kind of a little bit like a radish, to be honest, is what they kind of taste like, but without that spiciness. We have a strawberry cherry guava, which has the typical smaller cherry guavas. In here we've got 3 dwarf plums, all in the one hole. They're starting to go to sleep, but we have AOK on the left. At the back is a Mariposa, and this front one here is a Santa Rosa. We've also got another Mariposa in a pot there. So here, we got some more saltbush there. This here is a hybrid plumcot, apricot and plum hybrid, but it's probably got more plum characteristics than apricot, but it's a very early variety, so it's really good. It's the first ones we get for the year. Very delicious. It's nice to have something real early. I'll just come around. Down in here, Cape gooseberry in a pot. Beautiful fruit. I absolutely love this. A lot of people eat them when they're a bit too early. They pick them early, in my opinion. But if you wait for these to get super, super ripe, they've actually got a sweet caramel flavour. Very delicious. And very ornamental too. The capes, we'll call them. They have this beautiful sort of look to them as they break down. They're all the spent fruits that we've eaten, and I've just thrown the capes back in there, but the berry themselves are delicious. In behind this finger lime here is my green Jabberdacoba. Well, that's what I bought it as, green Jabbo. I bought it from a lady that didn't really speak all that much English, but she was adamant that that this was a special variety that she'd actually cross-pollinated herself from her trees. So, and she called it the green Jabberdacoba. So, interested to see. It has flowered. It's never fruited for me, but very interested to see what type of fruit comes on it. But it seems to be a lot more cold hardy than the others, and it's always really dark green and luscious, which, you know, we might get that in the tropics and that, but here we don't get Jabbos that look like this here. They're usually a bit haggard looking, unless they're, other than the Sabara, which always looks pretty healthy with its nice dark leaves. But they usually look like this. Like, as a comparison, you compare the Sabara to the red hybrid, and it's not as happy. Lighter leaves. And then we go back to the green here, and it's very dark, healthy leaves. So a very interesting one. Seems to be quite vigorous too, compared to other Jabbos. Another angle of all those Babacos. Now, we've been eating these all year round, and it just keeps flowering and fruiting. Maya lemon. It's a rescue tree. Don't think I'll ever put it in the ground, but it gives us a fair amount of lemons. That's that the Guy Sam Wampy, grafted Wampy in the pot there. This is a wonderful pomegranate that's going to sleep. We come around here and I've got 3 different varieties of dwarf apricot. These are claimed to only grow to like 1.8 metres tall, fully grown. Had these in a pot. They're well and truly overdue to go in the ground, but they all fruit at different stages, and they ripen at different stages, so it's good to have a range and to extend that season. So we've got the Bolita, the Tilton up the back there, and the Stories. Moving across through here, this is my espaliered apple. Beautiful little apple. It's a small apple, Sweet Cheeks I think it is. I bought this tree as a Granny Smith, but it's not, and I'm quite happy about that, to be quite honest. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Sweet Cheeks. It's like a miniature pink lady. We have a little red love apple here, which is a bit of a mule for cuttings. Up here, covered in flowers, is this banana passion fruit, and the fruits, it's nothing to write home about. I mean, it's beautiful and all, but there's definitely better tasting passion fruits. But I tell you what, the flowers, I don't think I've got any open at the moment, but the flowers are amazing on it. Don't think there's any open at the moment. Well, there's one of the fruits coming under this majorly overgrown arch way there, which is a full-time job, just pruning it, as you can see. And in here we have bananas. So I bought these both as Jacus, but they do produce a different banana. It's a beautiful looking bunch, nice and fat. And then we have these ones here, which have ripened on the tree or the plant. I've already had a few of these. Oh look, this one's broken, it's saying eat me. Yep. So I'm going to cut that down later, but that's only a small banana. Let's peel this with one hand and my teeth. Excuse the camera angle. And there's the banana, homegrown, and that is a beautiful banana. Some heritage varieties can be full of seed, you know, little edible seeds, and it can be a bit off-putting. But this is a beautiful banana. It's got it's sweet and tangy at the same time, almost like sherbet. Delicious and juicy. Tree ripened here in Melbourne. So we have a sickly looking red Dakar. I struggle to get the water down this end. I can water, that's a big blue Java there, which has got a couple of racks on it, currently. But I can get the water from the other side, but I can't get the water to these two potted ones. I should really move them. But yeah, that red ducker there, and that one's a goldfinger. The same deal with the blue Java. It's unconfirmed whether it is in fact blue Java. Seems to be a bit of a thing. But yeah, this beautiful, small bunch, but beautiful bananas. It won't be too long and these ones here will be ripening up, which are much, much thicker. They're still a small banana, so if I see if I can find a... Yeah, that one, no, that's not quite right. Give me a sec. Yeah, that one there's ripe. So, that there, if we compare it to them, I see that's not even a good comparison. They look similar size, but they're not. There's actually a substantial difference in size. They're quite smaller. The picture doesn't it doesn't look like it in the picture, but these little ones are much smaller. But let's peel another one. Yeah. And then another Nathan dwarf banana clump there. What I'm actually going to do is where those the red ducker and the goldfinger is over there, I'm actually going to put a red alama in there, and in between these two clumps here I'm going to try and squeeze a star fruit in here, because that's got really good wind protection from all sides, and it actually is really warm and humid in this area, so I think it'll be an ideal location if it can compete with the root systems from the clumps of bananas. But we'll see. It's all trial and error, isn't it, guys? So I'm going to try it and see what happens and see if I can get it to work in there. Alternatively, I was thinking that maybe putting it there, but the only problem is wind. It's not as protected, obviously, in here, and it's not as warm. So I think in there will probably suit it better. Beautiful, beautiful bananas. Yep. So have a look at that, guys. Tree ripened. So that's about it, guys. It's a full pre-winter tour of the front yard. Hope you guys liked it. Hopefully you can enjoy the time. It is a long video, but you know, I don't do them all the time, and you know, it's there's a lot of content to sort of fit in. So yeah, like and subscribe if you did like it. And I'll have to do a rear one, a backyard one soon, but I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.